Welcome, Tasty Tenacious Taurus. It is Sachi, and we are going to do some guided healing where we take a look into what the wound is that you are currently healing, what is keeping you stuck on your healing journey, how to get unstuck, and then some general advice from the angelic realm on how to heal this wound. Congratulations, you guys did come in second place. You actually tied for second place with Leo. So you will be getting a bonus reading next month. And just as an update, I'm going to be doing the monthly readings bi-monthly, actually. But if you are a member on either Eagle or Phoenix on my website, then you will be getting the individual sign readings on the other bi-weekly month. So I'll do a public, sign reading every single month, like this, or every bi-monthly. And then on the other months that I don't do this, it will be a collective reading. And if you're a member, again, then you will get a reading on my website. And once I have up to 100 either Eagle or Phoenix members, then I will go back to doing monthly readings. So just trying to prioritize my time and energy and putting more things into sources that give energy back to me. So let's get started, Taurus. This is what came out in the cleansing ceremony. We had the 8 of Swords in reverse, 7 of Wands in reverse, 5 of Pentacles in reverse, or I'm sorry, 5 of Pentacles upright with the Tower in reverse. So what this is telling me is that with the 8 of Swords in reverse, you are no longer being held back by self-limiting beliefs or any sort of impositions. It's kind of this break free energy where you feel like, you know what, nothing is going to hold me back. I'm not going to let these beliefs, keep me stuck in somewhere that's literally on fire, With the 7 of Wands in reverse, it's telling me you may not have chosen which direction you want to go yet. You may have not chosen what your passion is or, making your concrete plan or anything, but you know how to say no to what you don't want. And also when other people or things or, situations reject you, so this could be a job, a person, whatever it may be, you don't let your whole world come crashing down with the Tower in reverse. You know that a rejection does not mean the end of the world. It doesn't mean that your whole life has to sort of shatter or anything like that. So it definitely feels like you are getting a lot more resilient in some way. Taurus, you are known for resilience, but when the 8 of Swords is upright, I always take it as being too stubborn in the mindset. So the fact that this is coming out in reverse, there's even the bull in the background, it's telling me that you're learning how to stick to your principles and becoming resilient, but you're not letting that stubborn energy stop you from, good things. We had Shellos coming out using Rain Splash, so this is a hollow, so it is telling me this is like, hey, look at me. And this is a water type, so emotional. And as you can see, Shellos, they are very, very happy. And so, one is known as the masculine, one is the feminine. They're born on different islands. And it's definitely giving me energy of, your masculine and feminine energy and your emotional body is really being balanced. There also could be a special sweetheart in your life that you're having a really good time with. And then we have Polywhirl using Light Punch. And so it's basically saying, like, again, this is another water card, so it has to do with emotionality of things, is like, here's Rain Splash, where it's like, even when the rain is there, everything can still be fine. It's like learning how to have this jovial disposition even when it is raining and even when there are some light punches. It's not like everything's always going to be hunky-dory, but it's sort of how to have that resilience when things aren't necessarily going the greatest. And as you can see, there's also a tower coming out in reverse, right? A tower in the background. And Polywhirl is, very hypnotic type energy. So, it's possible maybe some of you are using like dream hypnosis or hypnotherapy or something like that. But in general, I just feel like this is a big, like, emotional maturity time for you. So that's good. I feel like really good energy in general. But let us see. As I mentioned, we are going to take a look into what wounds you are healing. What is keeping you stuck in your healing journey, then how to get you unstuck, and some advice. on how to heal the wound in general, but I hope you all are doing well. Let's see here, Taurus. What wounds are you currently healing? We have 8 of Wands with the 7 of Wands in reverse. So what this is telling me is you have sort of all this energy of stuff that you want to do, but you're not necessarily sure what it is exactly that you want to do. So again, it feels like you're releasing all these limiting beliefs and things like that. And once you stop constraining your energy of like, you know, why you can't do something or why it's not going to work out, it feels like all of that is sort of dissolved or dissolving currently. And you're recognizing it's like, okay, full steam ahead towards what it is that I want to do. But then it's this energy of like, wait a minute, what is it that I really want to do? So it can be this sort of crossroads of just sort of not being sure which direction to go, because the 7 of Wands in this deck represents when you put all burdens down and just choose one wand that you want to manifest with. So like one thing that you're channeling your Kundalini towards. So let's see, what's the light energy? It's funny, I was like, it wants to hide, and what is it? It's Kakuna, hide. So there's I was also feeling this energy. The 8 of Wands sometimes gives me this vibes of like 2 tribes going to war sort of thing. So I definitely feel this sort of possible battle energy around between other people, if that makes sense. It's kind of like you're on the sidelines of it. So Kakuna using hide is kind of like, you know, your heart chakra is basically hiding here. Kakuna is a cocoon state. So it can be, it's like you have all this energy, but you haven't fully emerged from the pupa yet. It's like you are going to become a butterfly and fly around and, you know, succeed and all that stuff. But it's like until you know what you want to do, what's the point of sort of flying in that direction, if that makes sense. So it is telling me that your heart chakra is probably still going through some healing. And again, it's like you're not going to choose which direction you are going to go until your heart is very sure about what it is that you want to do. It says, while awaiting evolution, it hides from predators under leaves and nooks of branches. So again, you know, it's awaiting evolution. So again, it's kind of in that pause, right? It's like, I have all this energy, but wait, what am I going to do? So there is this energy of sort of waiting it out of like, all right. And there is that aspect of predators. So I do feel like there are some, you know, like people who aren't too nice to you and things like that, but it kind of feels like they're kind of going at each other and leaving you alone right now. Oh, yep, there's that fighting energy. So, yeah, you know, fighting energy. And again, it feels like even if people are rejecting you or saying mean things or whatever, it's like, you know that it's not a tower moment. You know your life's not going to come crashing down. But there still are predator energy around. You know what I mean? Let's see, what's the shadow here? All right, we have Larvitar, literally another larva state Pokemon coming out, and this is also a fighting type. So Reckless Charge in reverse. So there's kind of this energy of kind of staying in the pupa stage when the thing is it feels like you really could have your wings right now, but your heart is hiding, likely because you're afraid of confrontation with other people. It's like you're afraid of maybe what they would say or what they would think. So it's kind of like you're hiding away, you know, what your heart's desire is. It feels less of a confusion about what it is that you want to do. It's the confusion is, do I really want to do it because of the judgment that other people may give me or something like that, especially the people who are close to you. Because, you know, fighting energy is also the sacral chakra, which is where you're emotionally or essentially connected to others. So there can be this thing of like hiding what your heart really wants and staying in that pupa state for too long out of fear of rejection or, you know, predator energy. So for example, let's say you want to start a YouTube channel, but you're afraid of mean comments or something like that. Or, you know, if you say, hey, I want to start a YouTube channel and your partner is unsupportive or something like that. So yeah, I'm really feeling, you know, this hidden heart energy. And with Larvitar Reckless Charge in reverse, it's basically, I don't want to say you're lying to yourself because that's not true. But it's sort of like, well, I'm not going to do it because like, I'm not just going to recklessly start something if it's not really meant for me sort of thing. But really the only way to do it is to just do it and try it, you know? So I feel like, it's kind of like being a little bit too cautious, but again, I do feel a lot of it is just hiding the heart due to, you know, what other people may think. It says, born deep underground, it comes above ground and becomes a pupa once it has finished eating the surrounding soil. So yeah, oh, so larva into cocoon, right? Larval state is like the caterpillar state, and then it becomes the pupa, which is like the cocoon. So, you know, this is talking about the larval state, how it goes underground and eats all the soil. So this is telling me that you have done some deep soul work. You've gone deep underground, sort of in hermit mode, and, you know, learned about your shadow and things like that. And you're finally in this pupa cocoona stage, but there's really nothing stopping you from becoming the butterfly except really deciding that it's no longer time to hide. All right, let's see what's keeping you stuck. Which honestly, it feels like, you know, judgment of other people is really what is keeping you stuck. We have the Seven of Cups, yeah, and Justice. There's that judgment, right? Justice is all about, you know, balance scales and things like that. It represents the legal system, which has a lot of judgment energy in it. So part of this can be, you know, number one, it is Libra season right now, right? True sidereal. The sun is in the constellation Libra. If you don't believe me, get a sky app or look at the sky for yourself. With the Seven of Cups here, Seven of Cups gives me energy of, it gives me energy of astrology stuff. Like that's what this represents in this deck. It's astrological transits. And right now we do have Mars retrograding in Taurus, right? And so there can be, you know, when it comes to Mars retrograde in general, there's a lot of energy of blockades and, you know, oh, I can't do something or blah, 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 right? Insert excuse there. And even though the self-limiting beliefs have gone away, don't let the astrology hold you back. I mean, granted, there are going to be some hurdles that you're going to have to jump through. And I will give you, you know, the benefit of the doubt. Mars retrograding in your home constellation is not easy. But it's not really an excuse, you know. And some of you might even be in Aries. Again, look up the Night Sky app, look up Sky Safari or, you know, whatever, and look at what the night sky looked at when you were born and double check it to see if the sun was in Taurus. But anyway, I digress because the turtle spirit represents Cancerian energy. So it's like emotions. So it could be an emotional aspect to astrological transits that are going on. I'm recording this on the 7th, well, like the 6th going into the 7th. And so obviously we are, you know, deep within that eclipse portal that's happening in Aries. And, yeah, so anyway, there can be this aspect of, you know, thinking that now is not the right time because of whatever. Granted, there are going to be some things that happen because Mars is retrograding in Taurus, but it's really not a reason to hold back, right? Mars retrograde more so just has to do with, you know, aligning yourself with things that are worth doing. And what's worth doing is what your heart is telling you to do. And so, yeah, that's basically what you need to do. I have an article on this, Mars in Taurus and the Mars retrograde, which is available on my musings page if you are a Scorpion, Eagle, or Phoenix member. But anyway, with Justice here, again, I do feel this judgment aspect and specifically, you know, how other people are going to view you, specifically like personal relationships. It feels less of like, you know, oh, I'm afraid of, you know, what people may say or whatever. It feels like specific people that you have a personal one-on-one relationship with. Because, yeah, you know, it is true sidereal Libra season, and that highlights all of our personal relationships, platonic or romantic. So this could be, you know, telling your lover what you want to do, telling a parent what it is that you want to do, telling your best friend what it is that you want to do. And maybe they don't believe in that or whatever it is, or they don't believe in you, right? And so part of it is, again, it's like you already know that if people reject you or whatever, it's not the end of the world. but it's also like, okay, well, now I have to do it and see if they actually reject me or not. So I feel like there's this energy of just sort of going along to get along right now. You're kind of playing it too safe and, you know, weighing out options too much and just not taking action. Let's see, what's the light energy here? We have electric using dyno motor, and it's going right to the larvitar. So this is an electric eel energy, and I'm like hearing that song like, oh girl. But the thing is that, so right, going right to here, the electric dynamotor, this is in the solar plexus, which has to do with your willpower, your ego, your sense of self. And so it's basically a dynamotor, which is like a lot of energy, right, in your solar plexus. So this can mean that you're too much in your ego, you know, and when you get too much in your ego, you know, you care too much about what people think, because it's like, you know, it's, again, it's like caring too much about the sense of self and how other people are going to view your sense of self. And again, it wanted to go right to reckless charge in reverse. So it's like, I don't want to be reckless by showing who I truly am. And, you know, showing who you truly are and shining your light is never a reckless thing to do. Okay. It says they coil around foes and shock them with electricity generating organs that seem to be circular patterns. So yeah, this is talking about it being circular patterns. So you're recognizing this as a pattern. Perhaps maybe using astrology as an excuse. Perhaps maybe, you know, taking too much into consideration what someone else is feeling while sort of negating your own feelings about the situation. It's like, you need to do this. And, you know, maybe some of you are like, oh, well, if I show my true self, people are going to be so shocked about it, you know, about who I really am, what I want to do. And the thing is, let them be shocked. You know, again, it's like trying too much to compensate. And, you know, having personal relationships, compensation, cooperation, compromise, right? All of those things are so important, but not when it comes to who you truly are. You cannot compensate who you are, because then the relationship that you're in isn't authentic anyway. All right, let's see what's the shadow here. We have meditate using yoga shock, kind of coming out stuck, but more in reverse. So again, you know, this is the sacral chakra, which is where you emotionally and sensually connect to others. And it's going right to the hiding energy. And so this is telling me maybe you're not keeping up on your yoga. Maybe you're not moving your body or doing meditation that you need to do. And it's going right to here, right? And so it feels like, you know, you've been meditating and doing these sorts of things on it. And again, now it's just time to take action. You can't just stay stuck in this meditative energy. You actually do need to take some, you know, move something forward. And yoga is the active movement, right? And so some of you maybe in Vedic, right, there's this aspect, there's like 3 parts of quote unquote astrology. There's the astrology, the yoga, and then, shoot, I'm drawing a blank. Well, whatever. But again, it's like the movement forward, you're worried that it's going to cause shock. It says, it can eat just 1 berry a day. By enduring hunger, its spirit is tempered and made sharper. And so some of you may not be eating properly because you're afraid of what other people may think. And, you know, your eating patterns may be disrupted, which of course, you know, it's talking about how its spirit is made sharper and things like that. But we all know a Taurus needs to eat good. You know, it's definitely temperance type energy of sort of going to one extreme or the other. And so, you know, temperance is very similar to justice in that it tries to balance the scale. So it's like, if you think someone's going to be completely shocked by something, you're going to act the complete opposite so that there is no shock, you know, acting completely neutral. Which is, again, it's not a healthy relationship dynamic to be in that way. It's also like some of you may be fasting or something like that. But yeah, it's definitely messing with your eating patterns. So let's just, All right, let's see what Mother Moon would like to say about this situation. Okay, maybe not. All right, let's do the blending of spirit and science here. Okay. It's funny, I just saw meditation. So as I mentioned in the extended, we're going to see how to get you unstuck and then some general advice on how to heal this. Yeah, and what do you know? Authenticity is coming out in reverse. Again, if you're not being authentic, what's the point? It's like these people don't even really know you. And it's like, even if they don't really like you for the fake you, then what's the point of even being that person, right? It's like, if they're not going to like you no matter what, you might as well be your authentic self. Movement in reverse. Again, it's like you're afraid of moving authentically here because you're afraid of the shock that it may bring to other people. And we have high vibe foods in reverse. Yeah, so you may, you know, again, I feel like it's your eating habits are messed up. So, you know, it talks about just eating one berry a day. Hopefully you guys aren't starving yourself. That would absolutely not be a good idea. And it's interesting because Persephone, you know, she has Persephone's pomegranate, and I believe it was 3 seeds that she ate. So I definitely feel like sort of, yeah, just not eating. And if you know, can't stomach food or whatever it is, make sure that the things that you are eating, maybe you can only eat 1 berry a day. Well, make it a giant berry, you know, like a pomelo or a grapefruit. You know, that's locally sourced, you know, high vibrational foods, things that are nutrient dense, you know, mushrooms, you know, things that are healthy and good for you, not a bag of chips or something like that, right? So, yeah, it's time to move authentically. And in the extended, we are going to see what we can do in order to help you in that way. So I hope to see you there. The link is in the description box below. But if we part ways here, good luck with the situation, and I'm sending you lots of love.